you ever been at a game table or even like a museum where you see like this diorama of miniatures that's so detailed that you just wish you could shrink down and live inside that world? Well, every time we play D&D here with our terrain, that's how I feel, that's how our players feel, and it's awesome. However, if we're making it for a show, you as a viewer, you kind of get left out. And so for the past year, I've been researching photo scanning, Unreal Engine, virtual production, all tools we're going to need to make one of our most ambitious shows ever. So come along with us as we attempt to make the best D&D show on the internet. Today is the first photo scan of Son of a Dungeon, and that's really cool. It's a crap load of pictures. Tons of pics. We were like, hey, let's make a D&D show, but what's the twist we can put on a D&D show? What's something that we can bring to it? And it turns out that is putting ourselves into the terrain. We scan the terrain and we make a giant 3D model that's life-size based on that terrain. And then we'll green screen ourselves into that. That way we can have moving cameras. We have a 3D model now. It's like a moving background. Today though, before we put our live action bodies into that miniature terrain, I'm gonna photo scan the players so we get actual miniatures of them to play with on the game board for the games itself.
Well, Sam hit me up because, you know, we used to play D&D all the time at Node. I'm always down to play D&D, especially with what you guys are gonna do with it. It sounds really cool.
You look like a member of Led Zeppelin.
I haven't even seen what I look like yet.
Oh my god.
I dig the overall costume. My only complaint is just that I'm not swole enough. I'm swole in the wrong spot, man. I don't like having a beer gut. Like, I'm not kidding. I think we should straight up just cut the abs out of the suit so I at least have, like, the proportions are a little bit more accurate.
I like the gut.
I don't, and it's not your character, it's mine.
Oh, yeah.
You got some rib meat.
Look at those ripped ribs, dude.
So D was the first person to get scanned and his print is completed. I'm pretty impressed with how it turned out. So for reference, this is what like a normal miniature looks like. Obviously this is painted. They're decent, but let me show you how D's print turned out. You can check this out. I still have to cut the supports off of it, but it turned out really, really well. Once I took those photos, I ran them through Reality Capture, which is our photo scanning software. Very fast, very effective. Added in a little sword, a little crossbow, cleaned up the brim of his hat a bit. It resembles D. I'm pretty excited about this. So,
what is up, dude?
I'm waiting for Nat and Jake to get their costume together so I can scan Jake. And then after that, I am gonna take a peek into the big shipment from Dwarven Forge that arrived this morning. I seriously thought we wouldn't have enough pieces.
I'm here because my mom and my dad fell in love. And
Fast forward.
fast forward. This is essentially what I've done on my free time building fables. So to be able to now come back and work with Sam, someone who's just as passionate in the genre and the game as me, have all the resources, all the knowledge. We're actually partnering with Dwarven Forge to build the best maps possible on the market. This is like a dream come true.
Oh, we got sewers!
Woo! Sewers!
I'm gonna sneak in them sewers. I've been using these Dwarven Forge terrain tiles for the last 10 years. It allows you to use your imagination for so many other things that are required for this game. You don't need to imagine what the room is looking like or the shape of it. Now you can focus on the story of the characters rather than all the superficial stuff. Oh shit, this is the piece I'm talking about. So in the campaign, when they drink their tea, this is the device they find whenever they're making it. Pop it, pop that tab. Pop that tab.
Popping it.
What the?
This is the kind of game you wish you could play. And that's all what this show is about. Let's play the game that everyone wishes they could play.
When you look at this game board, it has been scientifically designed to be the most optimal playing experience for this particular layout.
Big dungeon dwelling maps. A dream come true for anyone who plays or watches D&D stuff. It's like a real movie production with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras. If you liked Node's D&D, you're gonna love this D&D. If you are new to Dungeons & Dragons, you will not be disappointed. This is going to kick ass.
I think this is the most elevated D&D experience that you can offer. But on top of that, going into live action, highlighting the funny, the cool, the weird moments that would normally be hard to communicate, I think is gonna elevate this to another level. I'm in CG heaven. That's the best way to put it. You know that effect when you see a diorama where you imagine yourself shrinking down into that miniature universe? Well, D&D is already that experience. But once it's photo scanned and processed and then running in Unreal 5, it's a whole nother version of heaven. It turns out in Unreal you can set your cameras to have a 0.1 aperture, which is perfect for getting this like miniature effect. Sometimes the photo scans don't look so great, sometimes the lighting doesn't look so great because you know it's a game engine. So as long as I keep it with like a super shallow aperture like this, it's like, oh dude, that looks pretty good. This is the version that was in our imaginations, but now it like actually looks like that because it has lighting and atmospheric effects. I could open this in Cinema 4D, but I can't see it with final lighting and everything in real time. The nanite system helps because we're dealing with literally these photo scans of terrain that have millions of polygons. This is like easily like maybe like 10 million polygons or something. Right now, I am in my own imagination creating a small film, and the best part about it is that you'll actually get to see it.
Coming up on these green screen shoots, so Sam's been behind the computer and doing all this work, and now we have to see if it's actually going to work as we intend it to. So time to get a nice clean green screen going. Actually looks pretty good.
It's nice, and once we hit that curve, it's like, ugh. It'll be okay for now. The main issue you deal with when trying to set up a virtual camera like this, you're trying to get them synced up as closely as possible so that when this red camera goes capture frame, my 3D position is captured as close as possible to that exact same moment. We have tools that allow us to theoretically access that moment in time, but are those tools working? I don't know. Today, we'll find out. So, it starts with the lens. I'm using this lens. It's a cinema geared lens. It opens up to an f2, which is pretty nice because we're gonna be using super shallow depth of field for the miniature backgrounds. But most importantly, it's got gearing because eventually I'm gonna be putting a small device that is going to measure the focus poles that are being made and translate those to the virtual camera as well. We have an external monitor here, which I eventually will reroute the computer's signal back to so you can see a fully composited version of the scene. We got a Vive tracker, a Vive puck. And this is gonna screw right onto the top of this camera here. It is going to tell the computer where we are with the camera. All right, Nico, so let's do this. We have a thing on a thing. It's in focus. So we're getting a signal, so that's good. Okay, it's working. I tested it by just simply dragging it into my scene. There's a live video that's just a plane of this stuff right now. It's a little dark. Can you put it at a normal exposure and keep it there?
That did not look
It's
good.
frozen. So I'm wondering if that's part of this issue that I was talking about where it sometimes doesn't work. So yeah, I hit play and it doesn't animate and I have to go over here and manually like reactivate it and then it starts working. All right, it looks like I'm just gonna go on YouTube and watch some tutorials. There's a few things we're still dealing with. One, our signal's cutting out on our computer. That's important because you're trying to see the footage on the computer screen as you're working on this stuff. Also, there's a little bit of latency, but the camera's tracked right now.
Can I see some wiggles, Sam? There's ever so slightly delay.
What the fuck is this? I don't get it. It's really unhelpful if it just keeps stopping. Because imagine you're trying to set up a shot and it stops and you wait. So, hey, double click it again. You go through this process a bunch. And so I hit play and it pops up and it's not actually streaming. It's like, this is a stream. This isn't like a video file. I can't click play. Where's just like this raw stream? Where is it?
I don't know.
This is what's been super frustrating. I'm just like, show me the video stream just by itself. This is something that we probably aren't gonna fix today, maybe, because there's still everything else to deal with.
Hey! Are you dealing with jank in your life? Maybe you're on a virtual production set and you can't get any of the equipment to work. Well, guess what? Don't worry, because courtesy of today's sponsor, Raycon Earbuds, we're gonna chop down some of that jank and make your life a little bit easier with a premium audio experience, because Raycon earbuds are disrupting the electronics industry for about half the price as the other competitors, but without compromise. Sam's out there worrying about how he's gonna get his video game in front of his video and how he's gonna mash them together in a video. I don't know what that even means, but I just know that it's confusing and he's got a lot of Adobe in his life, so what he needs is a pair of premium Raycon earbuds, which obviously come in a variety of fun colors and patterns so that he can match his mood for the day. Raycon earbuds give you 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design for a comfortable, noise-isolating fit. They also have no dangling stems or wires. They took all that and they chopped it down
Raycon has a 45-day free return policy, so whether you're taking up a new hobby or you want to make your day-to-day just a little bit less janky, consider getting yourself a pair of Raycon earbuds by clicking the link in the description below or going to buyraycon.com/corridorcrew. You'll get 15% off just by going to buyraycon.com/corridorcrew. That's 15% off your pair of Raycon earbuds. Make your life less janky, get yourself a pair of Raycons and say, Sam, I appreciate everything you're doing, buddy. I don't understand it, but good luck. Probably get yourself a pair of Raycons because at least those aren't janky. See you later.
It's a tough pickle kind of day. So we're shooting next week. It's Thursday right now, so I'm working today and tomorrow. The problem is that I'm just in this situation where because of the directing and like all of the technical stuff for the shoot are both on my shoulders here, it's just like a little too much to handle as far as like the amount of time we have before we film. No, it's still at an angle. Well, we're seeing new issues. It's at 45 degrees.
Carmichael's in a tilted world.
Yeah, look at me, I'm so tilted, yeah.
Just suddenly now it's like this.
This is a pretty technical process, so we're trying to align a virtual camera with the real world camera, and big sweeping motions actually are a huge issue because our computer's chugging through it.
I saw a frame skip, but I couldn't tell what it was. Could be the wireless video. Once again, this is also the situation of me just crossing my fingers, hoping that the technical stuff can get solved, which I'm kind of banging my head against the wall with right now. When you watch the footage, if you look for it, you can see how some frames don't align and they move at different speeds from the camera.
Once keyed, the digital world is just shitty looking. Like broken frames, stuttering images.
It's not too bad, honestly. Once you put people and
Once
stuff
you
in
put
there.
people on it, it's super noticeable.
I'm so close to giving up. I feel like I'm on set on Avatar 2 again. For a while I was like, oh, it's cool. I know Unreal Engine, this is fun. And now I'm like, this sucks because no one else knows how to do anything. Like, I'm just stuck here alone trying to figure this out, basically. Everything's like so freaking close, but not ready. I kind of want to just like throw my hands up in the air here and just say, we'll shoot when we're ready to shoot. I got to deal with that right now. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
So, Sam, are you gonna film the meeting? Okay.
Camera system's not working out.
It's so close. Basically, it's at this crossroads here of like, well, the camera system is like close, but it's not there. And then on top of that, there's constant footage stutter. So there's something happening in the system where it's like not keeping 30 FPS, and when it doesn't do that, it goes, oh, don't capture a frame. The footage is legit unusable. This is without Genlock, and despite it looking flawless when you're filming it, it looks like shit when you capture the actual frames. So that's without Genlock. This is with the Genlock.
This is not bad at all. With Genlock on, if you guys just chill on the movement a little bit, it's gonna look great. And you know what? The slightest bit of jank, we all know.
What do we say?
You know the saying. It's the saying you just need to open your arms wide and give it a big hug because this looks great. It's a little bit that Nintendo game show where kids were in the video game. It's just got a little bit of that. But you know what? I love that show. And if you don't go crazy with your panning and you just keep it nice and smooth, it's gonna look great.
All right, get the jib arm.
Having the jib on a track right here with the jib arm, so you can do like panning shots, but it's nice and smooth, or you know, shots going up and down.
We have 2 days to get it and set it up.
This is why they're a team. They work well together. They balance each other out. One's got a problem, the other one's got a solution. Look at them. Look at them. I gotta go aft. So we got a green screen working. We got lighting. Got to tweak it just a little bit. Expose me correctly and I am in darkness. We got a whole new jib. The original issue is the drop micro frame. And the smoother the shot, the less noticeable it is.
Our track position is probably right about here.
We have a insane Video Village monitoring setup that we're gonna have. You have 3 monitors. The third monitor is duplicated onto the big TV for talent and then duplicated onto the camera. And that third monitor is going to be the CG reference that's taking in the green screen and processing it in real time. And then over here, Christian is going to be making sure the CG shots match the green screen shot. And then we'll also be playing the episodes while shooting so we can watch each scene that we want to do.
My life is in the shitter lately.
Is that a toilet?
It's a poop hole.
Every scout camp has the forgotten campsite that has one poop hole that looks exactly like this. And it has all the raccoon scratches on it and everything.
I'm not feeling much right now. I'm just trying to chill and put everything together while I can. 3.5 hours left in my day here, and I need to get it as far as I can. But, you know, at this point, I'm just gonna jump right in.
To be honest, with these shots added on top of full CG shots, on top of the table, on top of character art, Griffin, and sound design and music, are we really gonna complain about what we're putting together? Sponsored not by.
Day 1. Green screen son of a dungeon.
Don't you wish that you weren't where you were at a certain point in time sometimes?
Like right now.
These are rare salts for all the
This is,
rations.
oh, they're all labeled.
What is something?
Corn dogs?
Corn dogs?
I honestly have never had this much anxiety about a shoot. I need to duplicate myself because I'm gonna be over there on the camera and I won't be here on the computer. I can't be at both places at once.
All right, I'm pretty much done. Check this out. Instead of a sling, we have these straps that are built into my costume with a shield completely locked to it.
Ooh, the crowning achievement.
Oh, a little bit of warning would be nice.
Maybe you should be operating the camera today. What you have to do on that end is so minimal compared to everything that's happening here.
Let's go for it.
All right, we're gonna block this out here. This is the first time we see the characters. It's okay to just stand there and look cool. Okay, hope this works. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, action. And cut. Great work. Our first usable shot. We did it. There we go.
Great shots.
Classic Batman and Robin, like the old show effects. You can't like really have people rappel down a rope without stuntmen, so they're faking a rappel.
I got a rope splinter, dude. Look at that. I haven't been able to get that out.
Sometimes that's how it goes around here. Blood, sweat, and tears, you know what I'm saying?
So, we don't have a lot of green screen, but I have an Xbox controller that moves the whole camera rig. So, when we have to run great length, I just use the gamepad to make it look like they're running, and they're just gonna run in place. Stop! What are we gonna do? Go, 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 go. Sorry, you started Scooby-Dooing, and I was like, and so I started moving the camera, and then it looked so shitty. That was really good though.
Listen, Sam could just be lying to make all of us feel better, but I do feel better, and I'm gonna trust him for now.
Sweet. Hey, that's not bad. That looks cinematic.
I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, you're ready. So we're going, woo, let's go. You're here now.
That's why we have us, so we can catch the cameras that
Sam just
directors throw.
Yeah, it's simple, you know. Matt, hey, you know, you just let it go.
See, I'm always around. I'm always here. Knocking out shots, very little technical difficulties. What can I say? It's a well-oiled machine.
The secret sauce was honestly, it is better for me to just be here. I can watch the shots in real time. When hiccups happen, I fix them like instantly. And Carmichael's a great shooter and he's making the shots look great. But the purpose of this system is to save ourselves a lot of time. We're in a game engine, so rendering stuff out is gonna be insanely fast. And not only does it track the camera, but it puts the camera in the right part of the environment. We're knocking all that stuff out every time we hit record. Actually, technically,
I would actually be doing this other thing, and then I'd actually be reading through here, and then that.
okay, got it. That's a wrap. We did it! We did! It's the week after our big green screen shoot, and we just had our first post-production meeting in preparation for the meeting. I spent 5 minutes, that's right, 5 minutes putting together just one shot. I think it worked. Look at that. It's like, okay, I buy that. I did it. I put my boys in the dungeon. They're in there forever. They're not coming out. At our current pace, even without all this fun stuff that we're gonna be adding in there visually, I think the story, the characters, all that stuff, super engaging. It's definitely the best D&D campaign that I've ever been a part of. First episode is going to drop in early September, and we're gonna be releasing episodes weekly. So check it out on corridordigital.com.